Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news as one man is now detained after police responded to calls of a disturbance around 1 this afternoon in the 3600 block of 42nd Street South. That's where we find Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley, who is live for us with much more on this story. Bailey?
Yeah, Andrew, you can still see Fargo police are on scene here. You can see them just over my shoulder. They're still searching through a garage here. That's where they served a search warrant about an hour ago now, and that's where officers say they did recover a rifle, and that rifle is kind of at the center of this entire day. Fargo police say they were called here just before 1 o'clock this afternoon after two people say that a man appeared to be intoxicated, pointed a rifle at them. Another caller indicated to police that they thought the suspect then put the rifle back into the garage and fled in an unknown direction. Police have now been on scene ever since with dogs, with drones, trying to find this male suspect. About 30 minutes ago, they did serve a search warrant on the apartment complex where they believed he was at. They found him. He is now in. He's not arrested. He is with police for questioning. Police say if he is arrested, it will be on terrorizing charges. We'll continue to keep you updated here. For now, reporting live in Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right. Thanks, Bailey. You can stick with Valley News Live as we continue to learn more details about this story. State health officials are now confirming 54 new cases of COVID-19, along with 2 new deaths in North Dakota. The state now has a way to clean the N95 masks and other personal protective equipment being used to care for COVID patients. Governor Doug Burgum announced that a mobile decontamination system is coming to the state. Essentially, the PPE is placed in big containers, and then concentrated vapor-phase hydrogen peroxide will clean it. The masks will be labeled with a barcode so they'll easily be returned to the hospital, fire department, or funeral home that sent them in.
This might enable as many as 3 uses for an N95 mask without degrading the filter performance. And again, this is in the capacity of these, we'll be able to do 10,000 masks per cycle in 2 cycles per day. And so again, we can move through a lot of masks.
The governor says it might take 5 to 7 days with shipping to get the PPE back, and there's no cost. The death toll from COVID-19 in North Dakota now sits at 33. 24 deaths are from the virus. 4 of the people had the virus, but that's not what killed them, and 5 are under investigation. 1,425 people have tested positive for the virus. 714 people have recovered. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, state health officials are now reporting more than 10,000 positive cases. The case count increased 723 from the other day, bringing it to a total of 10,088. The death toll increased by 26 and is now at 534. 5,697 people are listed as recovered. We've got sunshine as we roll into the weekend. Makes it a little easier to deal with the cooler weather, right? Here's Hutch with a look at our first alert forecast. Hey, Hutch.
Thanks so much, Andrea. We want to make sure that everyone out there has an alert to what's going to happen tomorrow. Right now, things are looking mighty nice, but snow is going to fly for many of us throughout the day tomorrow and accumulate. Here's a look at what you've seen crawling across the bottom of your screen, a winter weather advisory, mainly for the Devil's Lake Basin in the Northern Valley. We'll have more on the timing of this system, but look at our temperatures now. It's cooler than average for this time of the year. We have 50s. There's the storm system beginning to take hold. It's really an Alberta Clipper or a Saskatchewan Screamer, if you will, screaming out of Saskatchewan and across the region. Now, usually these bring more blow than snow. They're usually just pretty windy. This one's going to come with a punch. So we can have some changes to what we see tomorrow, but it certainly looks like there will be enough accumulation on grassy surfaces with a few areas getting 3 to 6 inches and isolated areas picking up even more than that. Andrea, I'll have hour-by-hour details on that in a moment, but for now, tonight in Fargo looks very pleasant, very quiet, albeit cool. I'll have more details in just a few seconds.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. A third person is now in jail after a murder in Bemidji, where a man was found in a burned house with a gunshot wound to the head. 32-year-old Devin Belcourt of Bagley was arrested in Nadawash Tuesday in connection with an incident Sunday in which a man was found in that burning home near Bemidji, and another man was found with a gunshot wound. Officials say Belcourt is charged with second-degree intentional murder, arson, and burglary with a dangerous weapon and explosive. In regard to the two other suspects, 38-year-old Travis Gunning is charged with robbery and aiding an offender, and 30-year-old Rebecca Lockman is charged with aiding an offender.
There's a good number of stores that are closed with the gates down.
Cars packed parking lots and people crowded the aisles, signs of normalcy coming back to Fargo. But while West Acres Mall reopened with new guidelines, some stores remain closed, and it may be a permanent issue. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero explains.
Renee Fisher has been the owner of Fisher Striderite for 18 years, and she says she's never experienced anything like the pandemic.
We're doing our best to make everybody comfortable.
Fisher, as one of the few who kept their business open, says she sold shoes by offering curbside pickup or delivery. It was a way to still keep the lights on.
Our employees all have masks, and we've made little stations for our customers so that they stay separated from each other.
Most who we spoke to at the mall Friday were happy it was open after a month and a half.
I decided to come out to the mall because first, this is my first time, and it's nothing else to do.
I think it's great being out right now, and then also walking into the mall, seeing how serious it is, the whole COVID-19, with the stores still not being open.
Not all stores at the mall are open. As you can see, a few are closed. And the very few that are open do have certain restrictions that you have to abide by if you go inside. The coronavirus pandemic has claimed a few casualties in the retail world. Neiman Marcus and Lord & Taylor are a few that filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Published reports say JCPenney is next, planning to do the same thing next week, possibly closing hundreds of stores. Raymond March of North Dakota State University says the businesses that will thrive are the ones who remained open.
The businesses that have stayed open, really with very little guidance from governmental oversight, have found ways to serve consumers safely.
March also says an economic recovery could happen in months, not years. In Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
West Acres Mall is operating under new times. They are open from 11 a.m. until 6 at night. You're not required to wear a mask, but all employees will, and some stores do require that you wear one. Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany says the White House is now putting into place guidelines to keep the building safe after a second staffer tested positive for the coronavirus. McEnany started today's briefing with an extended statement on the Department of Justice motion to ask a judge to drop charges against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. McEnany also commented on the historically bad jobs numbers out this morning.
There is a member of the vice president's team who is positive for coronavirus. We have put in place the guidelines that our experts have put forward to keep this building safe, which means contact tracing, all of the recommended guidelines we have for businesses that have essential workers. We're now putting in place here in the White House.
McEnany says people can trust that we have a president who wants to reopen the economy and reopen safely. After a long, harsh winter, Minnesotans can finally bring their fishing poles back on the water tomorrow. However, officials with the DNR ask you to stay close to home for this year's fishing opener, all in an effort to help slow the spread of COVID-19.
Bring all your needed supplies with you, to not do any overnight stays, and to travel only as far as you can go and return with a single tank of gas.
Strawman says she hopes people will still get out and enjoy the day, adding hopefully everything will be back to normal next season. West Fargo Public Schools and Essentia Health are partnering to make sure the class of 2020 has a special in-person graduation. The community high school's ceremony will be on May 28th on the soccer field, while Cheyenne and West Fargo high schools will use the football fields on May 31st. Officials say wearing masks and keeping a 6-foot distance will be required. For more information on times and the backup plan for unpredictable weather, you can go to our VNL News app. The damage of the coronavirus-induced economic shutdown is clearly evident in the Labor Department's jobs report released today. The Labor Department reports that the economy slashed more than 20 million jobs in the month of April. That sent the unemployment rate skyrocketing to 14.7%. That is well off the low unemployment rate of 3.5% we saw in February. To put this in perspective, 14.7% unemployment is still significantly higher than the highest unemployment rate of 10% we saw during the Great Recession. Still ahead tonight, days after cell phone video surfaces showing a jogger being killed in Georgia, 2 men are arrested for his murder.
20s to start your day today in the valley. A chilly one indeed. Afternoon temperatures only making it to, as forecast, 50 degrees. Winter weather heading out of Canada, heading our way for Saturday. Your hour-by-hour forecast is next.